Hey guys, it's that time again. You guys have asked questions on YouTube and I'm here and so excited to answer them for you. So what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna read through quite a few of these that we have here. Can't do them all as much as I would love to, but I'm gonna try to hit the most common stuff that you guys can try to figure out on your own, because our goal again here is for you to save some money. The one thing that I can tell you is that we have one customer that has reached out that he has an automatic transmission and it's going in and out of gear, and now it has 2 codes. Problem with that is that sometimes I'm definitely gonna need a computer to hook up to it, but usually what I've seen over in the past, it's gonna be your clutch or clutch actuator or the shift controller. And there's a few things I would do. The first one I would go right off the bat, find out what the codes read. And then the second one, it usually always ends up with doing a transmission and clutch relearn on these DT12 transmissions. Those are pretty common. Sometimes just doing that will resolve the problem. It depends on the code. Once the code is read and we figure out the problem, you should be up and running again. Now, these things you guys gotta take them with strides. It happens. It's an automatic transmission and it's meant to save the truck and the transmission itself. So it can be frustrating, but take your time, get to a shop and get to the proper technician to help you with the problem. And if you have any issues that come up, even if you have a code, again, you can leave that in the comments and I can try to get you more troubleshooting there. So codes for me is gonna help me help you guys in the long run. So if you have codes, shoot them my way, especially when they're Freightliners, because those are my babies. All right, the next question I have, which is you guys are gonna like, because we're gonna have a video coming out about checking your transmission fluid. They wanna know about maintenance. Now, the best thing I can tell you about transmissions is that you need to follow your OEM service manual. All right, it'll tell you what your intervals are, especially when it comes on over the road and off the road. And make sure you guys follow the weight of the oil when putting it in. All right, the brand doesn't matter, the weight does. So make sure you put the right one in your truck and you should be good to go. And then maintenance, how to replace the filters on them. That's another video that I can definitely shoot your way coming soon. All right. So guys, when you guys go into the shop and you do your oil changes, your preventive maintenance, you should always ask them questions about your transmission as well as your differential. Was it full? Was it low? If it was low, was there any leaks around the transmission? Do they, have a smell? Does it smell burnt? Things of those kind of questions you need to ask the technician when you have it in, when you do a service. Because if they give you, I don't know, or it's okay, dig in deeper. Because I'm sorry to say there are some mechanics that will just pencil whip right through the checklist and say that they did it when they don't. And the best thing you could probably do is, if you want for your security, is put a little mark on the plug with a paint marker or a security. So when they break it free, then at least you know that the plug has been moved and you can see that it won't line up again. And that's telling you that at least they checked the transmission as well as the differential. All right, guys, I have a question about a gentleman that just got a brand new Freightliner DD15 engine in it. His question was that with this new truck, it never goes above 50 PSI. Well, on Freightliner Cascadias, they have a range anywhere between 12 and 70 PSI. So if it drops below 12, we know we have a problem. Anything shooting over 70 PSI, we have another problem. As long as it stays within those tolerances, you should be just fine. Just keep a close eye when it comes to oil pressure. And if you have a check engine light, that's when you definitely, at that point, need to take care of it. All right, guys, so I have another question. It's about cruise control on a T680 Kenworth. So here's the thing. She's saying that when she's driving, then something moves across it and then the cruise control kicks out. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to see it. All I can tell you is what I've seen, especially with the Freightliners, is that when something comes across it and then the sensor in the front of the bumper goes out, right here, not down here because I have the truck up, there's a sensor in front of it. There's a good chance that that needs to be recalibrated. It's reading trees or something off to the side and it's gonna kick the cruise control out because it wants to see what's in front of it for a car and it sees like there's something in front of it. Now the other thing is, if you have a license plate, that will deter the problem as well. Remove the license plate away from the sensor, put it lower or put it above. And as you can see right here in this Freightliner, we have a sensor. You don't want this blocked and you want to try to avoid it. Half the time when you guys lift up the hood, you put your foot there. It's just instinct. Try to avoid hitting this sensor. So for the Kenworth, I would say is to check the sensor out by getting it recalibrated and see if that resolves that problem. All right, guys, so the last question that I have here, to me, from reading it, it sounds like there's two separate issues going on here. Having AC issues on the truck blowing hot air, but it gets a little better when rolling, when it's in motion. And then the temperature is getting more than 200 in the zone for climbing hills. So, and they say they have a Freightliner. So if you guys remember Freightliner in the previous video that I have, that if it's a newer Freightliner, if it's getting up to 200, 221 is when the fan kicks on, and it should drop that temperature back down to 190. If it goes beyond 221, then we have a problem. Now, the AC, when he's in motion and it only works and it gets a little cooler, there could be a few issues going on. One, maybe the fan's not kicking on. Two, you could may not have enough Freon. Or the third, and but last, you may have some restriction in front of the condenser. So the simplest thing to check is, check to make sure the fan kicks on. The fan should kick on and run for at least 3 minutes, and then kick back off when the AC is running. If the fan doesn't come on at all, that's where I would look. Now, if the fan kicks on and off like it's supposed to, the next thing I would check would be the Freon. Make sure you have enough pressure in it. And if the pressure is good, then last but least, check to make sure that nothing's blocking, you know, dirt or some debris in front of the grill area where the condenser is. So that's what I would do. All right, guys. So that was the last question of the day. And if you guys like what you saw today, don't forget to hound that like button. And you guys want me to answer more questions or give you more how-tos and save you guys money, guys, don't forget to subscribe. See you guys at the next video.